horrible attacks in Sri Lanka. We did see the Eiffel Tower in Paris go dark, as it so often does, following tragedy around the world. Paris, of course, dealing with its own tragedy in the past week, that fire that you noted at Notre Dame Cathedral. Parishioners who might normally go to Notre Dame on Easter Sunday, they had to attend services at a nearby church. So for those non-Catholics or for those who don't know, what significance does Notre Dame hold for Catholics?
Well, it is the Cathedral of Paris. So you have 100 parishes, but that is the seat of the Archbishop. It's the most important church, and historically it has held such significance, not only for tourists, but for people who wanted to go there to pray. And you've heard some critique like, well, it's just a building, and why are we spending all this money on a building? And yes, it is that. But I think it's a testimony that the human spirit needs to be lifted up in some way, to know that all of that time and money and effort were placed in a building for God, and that the human spirit might be lifted up to something higher. That's really why it's such an important symbol. It's not about the brick and mortar. It's about what the symbolism of that building, what people aspire to, what it helps them get to. And so I think that it's so important because, yes, it's beautiful. It has the paintings, it has the organ, it has those beautiful bells that toll. But it's because people have been baptized there. People have been married there. People have been buried there. People have gathered for prayer to go beyond themselves, to be lifted higher. And that's why I think it resonated throughout the world, even with non-believers who looked at it and said, you know, I don't know everything about what that's about, but something special is happening there, and it moves me even though I'm not Catholic or not Christian.
Yeah, it resonated so much that there has been an outpouring of offers of funds to the tune of more than $1 billion that have been raised for the effort to rebuild the cathedral. Were you surprised by this response?
I was surprised by it, first of all, and I was surprised that even non-Christians were donating to it, I think for the reasons I just enunciated. Right. And I was also not surprised, though, that people are protesting that. That, you know, you have protesters in France who've been protesting for a fair wage, against economic injustice, and saying, well, why aren't they spending the money on that? Why are they spending it on a building? And so I get that. I mean, people come first before buildings. And so I think we need to do both. And I think the protesters have a point, but I think the people are responding to the building, again, not for the brick and mortar, but for what it represents. We need beauty in our lives to lift us up, to take us beyond ourselves. That's why people are giving to it, not because buildings are more important than people.
Well said. Father Edward Beck, thank you very much, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Alec. Thank you.